Hello, everybody. I have decided to keep pushing forward. I don't know if I'm upping the game at all, but keep pushing forward with my YouTube videos. And I woke up this morning, and I was just hungry. I had this craving, as you get, um, especially when you're in a country. I'm not going to say foreign country because I've been here for so long. Um, Certainly, it's a new city living here in Hong Kong. But I mean, I've been in Asia forever. I mean, I've been an expat for, I guess, solidly going on 14 years. Although I did have a brief 7 or 8 month trip to the U.S. and made some good friends and had some interesting experiences. Let's put it that way. But I very quickly, once I got there, I pretty much reaffirmed my decision that this was the place to be. That education was the career for me, and that, well, just living in this part of the world. So, motivations, push-pull factors notwithstanding, you grow up with a thing, you occasionally want a thing. So, you'll see me doing a lot of copycat recipes. I miss Chick-fil-A dearly. Great fast food, but since and several iterations I've been working on, I have taken my Chick-fil-A nuggets and sandwiches, I believe, and I have made them better, thanks in part to my lovely wife, who just has this masterful art of making buns or bread exactly as I describe it. Magic, and we'll get her involved in these videos too. Certain other things. Anyway, this morning I woke up with the idea of, man, I want some Chinese food. But Richard, you say you live in China, or you live in Hong Kong. But General Tso's chicken was on my brain. That thing you can't get in Asia. There's a whole bunch of Chinese American foods you can't get here. They don't exist. Eggrolls. Still get a craving for those things all the time, and I'm going to make them soon. I have a method almost worked out. Crab Rangoon. I have made it before with limited results. I can get better ingredients and better crab meat and everything here in Hong Kong. So look for that video. And then just the general run of everything you see on a Chinese restaurant menu in the U.S. Wife has made something called Gong Bao Ji Ding, which is Kung Pao chicken, except different and better. And various items that you see. Just keep in mind that the Americanized version is this sticky, sweetened. Chinese people would be appalled by how unhealthy this food is. That's what Chinese food is for us. It's just so different here. Now, I will make no secret whatsoever about the fact that I'm a huge critic, if you will, of Cantonese food or of various regional Chinese foods, especially the things my wife cooks that I lovingly call fried yuck. Sorry, it's just soy sauce, ginger, garlic, oil, throw it in the pan, add more oil, put some oil on top of that, and make sure that you take a chicken and just chop, make sure there's a bone in every little bite, and make the skin taste like you're eating a soggy balloon. And yeah, that's my opinion. So she makes some wonderful dishes too. I'm not going to criticize that too much, lest I get in trouble. But sometimes I need my food. And so what transpired this morning was me making my food. Now, wife is not in the house right now, thankfully. Otherwise, she'd be saying, why are you blah, 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 blah? You should just get straight to it. So Okay, after 5 minutes of talking, I'm ready to get to it. So, without further ado, I give you General Tso's chicken for breakfast. Alright, first thing with General Tso's chicken is you take chicken breast or chicken thigh, whatever your preference, depending on how fatty or what kind of texture you want, and cut it into small, inch or so, couple centimeter chunks. Metric system is what we should be using. Inches are stupid, but whatever. I live in Hong Kong. And it's this weird mix of imperial and metric, and whatever. Inch and a half, inch or so pieces. So, step one. Into the bowl, I will be adding sesame oil. Don't worry, I've got another bottle. I need more later. I'll set that upside down there so the rest can drain out. Next, I need some just regular soy sauce here. That stuff. Light soy sauce. Just a little bit. Okay, enough. Now, I'm terrible at this, but I need a binding agent, and I've only got one hand, and I'm going to try, even though I usually miserably fail. That's why I'm going to do it into a separate bowl. Just because I am terrible at this, and I freely admit I'm terrible at this. One-handed egg crack. Let's see if I can do it. Alright. I got it. Well, yay, no shell. Can't believe it. Okay, I'm proud of myself for that one. That was an epic success on my part. Believe me, I've done that so many times and gotten shell everywhere. Alright, just gonna dump that straight in. No one cares if you scramble it up first. Okay, and so then next, in will go a generous portion of cornstarch. Okay. Alright, next you just you get your hands dirty and you just mix and mix and mix until you're happy. You want this sticky binding as evenly as you can possibly make it. Some people don't use egg. I like the egg because it just makes it more. It'll be crunchier later, trust me. Okay. That's pretty thick and even. That's good to go. Now, I'm getting my oil hot here, and a very, very important thing for your kitchen is to have a thermometer. I clearly need a new one. This one's definitely had its day. It's about you want to get the oil to about 185, 190 Celsius, or 365, 370 Fahrenheit. There. So I'm not there yet. Takes a surprisingly long time to get there, but once you're there, you got to turn the heat down or your oil will get too hot and start to smoke. I usually prefer to use a peanut oil for this reason, as it has a higher smoke point. Moving on. I've also discovered that I no longer like to deep fry my chicken wings. The steam convection microwave oven combination thing we have, pretty amazing thing, I'll show you later, does it better. Almost like an air fryer, but better. So we'll get to that. Taking a while. We'll come back to this. So if you don't have a thermometer at your disposal and you want to do this, first of all, anytime with oil, just be careful. like super careful. Always keep your handles pointed inward, especially if there are children in the house. And there's Phoebe over there. Handle to the side so she can't reach it. And then just let it go. So you can start to smell it. Look and see. I've used this oil once or twice already, so it's not perfectly clear. There's a few bubbles, but you can do that. There's no sense in wasting fresh oil every single time. Okay, we are there pretty much. Almost. Yeah, definitely we're there. So I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit. You're going to keep the temperature close to this while it does its thing. Now I've got my chicken here. The ice machine is in the way, so I don't have all that much counter space. But just going to... There you go. So the batter should not be coming off of it too much. It should be a nice little bubble like that. And no, this isn't going to be like your standard fried chicken where you've got a bunch of crispy crust and breading. This is going to go into a wok with sauce later. So I'm just going to fry these little pieces. I'm going to do it in batches. Otherwise it would take a huge pot and a lot more oil. And I'm just not into that use of too much. Besides, I'm in a tiny house and a tiny kitchen. What are you going to do? I'd love to have this nice outdoor cook space where I could do this. Even a kitchen with an island big enough where I could set up the camera and just let it watch me. But we'll get there someday. For those not familiar, Hong Kong is the most expensive housing market in the world, and I live in a really nice place on the 43rd floor of the building, but it's only 465 square feet and costs way more than you can imagine it could. Okay, so you got 8 or 10 pieces in there. You gotta have one of these things. This is one of the most useful utensils that I have. Just gonna stir this around. And I'm not going to get this 100% done because it is going to go back into a pot later. Now, I do have to be accommodating to wife and Phoebe, but I do like mine a little bit extra crispy, which we'll address in a bit. But as you can see, it's giving this nice golden brown look to it. It's not quite there yet. So when cooking chicken especially, you got to worry about not only how it looks, but the internal temperature. Because if your oil is too hot, you'll burn the outside and the middle will be raw. It's too cold, well, you'll know it because it won't be doing this. So, but there is a balance. Temperature is everything. Okay, batch 2, and it looks like there's going to be a batch 3, maybe 4. So, again, I'm going to let these go for a few minutes, and then I will get back to you when I'm ready for the next step. Okay, so here's my big cake pan of chicken, but the problem is with fried chicken, you can look at it a little bit, especially when you're doing just cornstarch. You see that oil there? And it's not... This is not what you would call crispy. It'll get soggy over time. It'll just steam itself soggy, especially sitting in a pile like this. So, there's a solution for that, which is, secret to crispy fried chicken is to double fry. So just throw these back in here for another 2 minutes, give or take. And throw a bunch more in at a time, so I'm going to get that done. Okay, fresh out of the fryer, you can see an enormous difference in the chicken. It's not as oily now, or not as oily looking, much crispier. We're in good shape. Next, we need to move on to the sauce. So, move this aside. Into the sauce shall go. Remember, I'm doing a non-spicy version for Phoebe. I'll then add spice for wife and I, because that's the challenge of having a toddler who can't eat spicy food and parents who love spicy food. So, orange in no particular order, and you just got to figure out the measurements yourself. Got orange juice, light soy sauce, white rice vinegar, hoisin sauce, sesame oil, black vinegar. These are my sugar. There's my sugar box. These are my ingredients. Now, don't think in any way, shape, or form this is a healthy dish. It isn't, but hey, it's breakfast, and when is American breakfast ever healthy? So, here we go. Oh, I forgot a little dark soy sauce too. Just to get that color. Now, you take what's in the bowl. You find a spoon. I love my old school swizzle stick that I appropriated from somewhere. And give it a good stir. Then I'm going to add a generous amount of sugar. So you want that to thicken up in the pot. Yeah, we're not winning any health awards here, but it will be delicious, I promise that. Oh yeah. It's good. Trying to think of what it needs. Okay, coming back. Now, when this all goes into the pot, you also need an additional thickening agent, and this will be cornstarch, or for some unbeknownst reason, British called corn flour, and cold water mixture. Emphasis on cold, because if you mix this with warm water or try to throw cornstarch into a hot sauce or soup, it will just clump and be useless. With cold water, it dissolves right into something that resembles milk, but I wouldn't want to drink it. Anyway, there we go. And yeah, I'm a messy cook. I'll deal with this. Wife is very forgiving. Okay. Next step. Okay, the oil has been set aside. I have my wok here. And now I didn't put garlic, which I sometimes do. Garlic and ginger, but today I'm just going to make a very simple version. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hang on. Okay, you know what? I was wrong. I just got some big chunky garlic chopped up and grated some ginger, and the smell coming off of this is just outstanding. So don't forget your garlic and ginger. Just let that come to a boil. I probably didn't make enough sauce, but that's okay. Fire's going. Boiling is happening. Next step in the process. Alright, with an increased volume of sauce going, we have our bubbly boiling process starting. If you can just look at the color there. Just a very, very pretty color of that sauce as it starts to do its thing. Let me see. Okay, so my phone actually got too hot again. I had to stick it in the freezer for a couple of minutes because Phoebe's playing her thing and wife's on the phone, and there's chaos and noise. There's also chaos and noise coming from my pot. This is good. So what I want to do, come across to my chicken, my cake pan thing. Hang on. It's going to come apart. Gotta use 2 hands. Hold it. Okay, we're in the pot. We're going. We're looking great. We're stirring. We're stirring. Letting that coat the chicken. Hold on. Now I've added my thickening agent here. I'm just going to let it do. Look at the color. It gets darker, the sauce gets thicker. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with breakfast General Tso's chicken. Let me get this ready for plating. Okay, as a final touch, I have added some steamed broccoli that I made in my Thermomix to the pan. I'm going to coat that with sauce, just whatever's left in the pan. Fry it a little bit, not really fry, just make it hot. I cooked a little much, but that's okay. Stand by. I really don't like being out of light soy seeds and having to use black, but whatever. Okay, there you have it. General Tso's chicken with broccoli for breakfast. Now, here's a bowl that Phoebe will not be touching because I have added to it ghost chili. And I'll film a reaction video shortly.
What are you talking about, Daddy?
I'm just making a video for the people. Alright, last little video bit from me. My General Tso's ghost pepper. Because why not do 2 in 1? A spicy thing and a cooking thing. Oh no, Phoebe, this one's too spicy for you. Hang on.
I need my fork!
I took Phoebe's fork. Oh, okay. Hang on. I just had one so far. Not as spicy as I was anticipating, so I added more.
The meat's so good.
Okay. That'll start your day. Okay.
That's your call. You're welcome.
So, there you have it. General Tso's chicken. Now, again, there are several improvements that I could make on this. I also want to figure out how to do a little video insert here on General Tso. Was he a real person? Where did this dish come from, and why is it not in China? Why is it ubiquitous at every American Chinese restaurant? Every single one you go to will have General Tso's chicken. Oh, God. Back on that note in a bit. Alright, so just very, very brief video here since Stephanie and Phoebe have just come back, and I'm going to have to keep this short. Doing a search for General Tso, Hong Kong. You get, okay, Bing. Bing, you get the logo of the US? Okay. This is why you don't use Bing. Let's Google. Now, if someone knows of a place that serves General Tso's chicken, as wife is right in my way, in Hong Kong, I'd be very curious to find it. I do know of Tipping Point Brewing Company, which I've not been. They have this dish that appears to be chicken wings to me. I could be wrong, but that's a very good photo, except hashtag where's my plate. That's a Reddit thing if you don't know. Or I want my plate back or something. Beyond that, if you just search for General Tso, you can see recipe named after Zuo Zongtang, a Qing Dynasty statesman and military leader from Hunan province. But there's actually no connection with this guy or the dish. No one in Hunan knows about it or heard of it. Yes, Phoebe. And there are other claims here. Just Wikipedia, you'll figure it out. The thing that's crazy for me is that I can't find it anywhere in Asia, yet every Chinese restaurant's got it. So, I don't know what Phoebe is doing here. She's making a lot of noise. But that's what children do. Anyway, there is a documentary that should be watched, Searching for General Tso, that came out several years ago. There you have it. It's all over the place, but good luck finding it here. So, as an expat, you do what you have to do, and you find your own. And more on this to come at another juncture. Anyway, my version I think was pretty awesome, especially to have for breakfast, and that's that. So I'll keep making more of these. If there's a dish you want me to make, please I don't know, let me know in the comments. Subscribe, like, turn on notifications, do all those YouTube-y things that I'm supposed to tell you to do. Maybe I can get someone to sponsor a cooking video or a cooking set. That'd be nice. But in the meantime, this is what I've got. And life over there. And at least I got a nice view. And by Hong Kong standards, pretty happy with my kitchen. Anyway. I'm going to go out and enjoy this beautiful day on this holiday weekend. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival, which I get 4 days off. Then a few weeks will go by and then I'll get another week or so off. Anyway, that's me and signing off.